Yeah, yeah, exactly. Got a pneumatic loader, so we don't have to go up there and lift it manually, which we had to do in the past. That was very tough, but it makes it a lot easier. So, anyone know anything about coffee roasting? Who thinks they have a good base of coffee knowledge that they want to put something out there about?
Well, we have very specific temperatures and times.
Yeah, absolutely. So this coffee that I'm roasting ends at 417 Fahrenheit every time. If it goes above, it's not going to taste the same. If it goes below, it's not going to taste the same. Yeah, and we kind of base that based on, well, a lot of factors. I mean, obviously you don't want to ever discount how it tastes, right? That's an important part of it. We do what's called cupping in coffee, where we evaluate the coffee fully and score it, really, and figure out the tasting notes and all of that. That's one component, right? But we also use things like density and the moisture level of the coffee, the varietal of that green coffee as well. Those things all play a big part in how we approach roasting a specific coffee. The one that we had outside is the Burundi, which is one of my favorites. I love that.
Do you guys do mostly Arabica beans or Robusta at all?
We do have one Robusta from India. It's our first ever one. We just did that, released it 2 months ago for the first time. But most specialty coffee companies will go 95% plus around that. Yeah. There's a little bit of Robusta, and I think it's getting a bigger part of our consumption. Where you find it most often in Western countries is instant coffee. Most of that's going to be Robusta.
Vietnamese coffee or?
And Vietnamese coffee as well, yeah. Got a friend who owns a Vietnamese coffee company called Emma. He named it after his daughter in Sacramento. And yeah, they do 100% Vietnamese Robusta. You had a question?
I guess, how would you guys describe your flavor profiles that you're going for? I think this one's a little fruity, for example. Is that kind of the palette you guys put out?
Yeah, great question. Every coffee is purpose roasted. What I mean by that is you aim to get a specific profile, flavor. You want it to evoke a feeling that you're chasing, right? So you want to work with like two things. Potential for that coffee, like what flavors it's capable of, and then really how it fits into your program. So you never really, coffee purchasing is never that easy. Oh, there's an Ethiopian, I'll just get it. So you really don't know what it's capable of, right? So you get a sample, you sample roast it, cup it, and then let's say you are looking for coffee. You can also just demographically look at coffee, like, hey, I need an African, boom, there's my Ethiopia, I got my coffee. Or you might go, you know what, I need something that's like a fruit bomb, with like berry notes and sweetness and like a light roast. It's really going to appeal to that like third wave coffee person. Well, that might be a great fit for that too, for that purpose also. In case of the Burundi, we could have gotten lighter with this one actually, and found out a little bit of that sweetness and that nuance. But we're also using it for espresso as a single origin espresso, so we couldn't go that way. We could, but we kind of wanted to go slightly more light heavy, if that makes sense. Right, so again, you're always looking at the purpose of how you're going to use that coffee before you really start figuring out the profile and temperatures, the roasting timeline, and all of that. So we just cut the out here. Each batch is 70 pounds, and each batch finishes roasting anywhere from 10 to 14 minutes. Quick. Anyone have a guess for how many pounds of very busy caffeine you go through in a week of coffee? Any guess? Like you're really busy. Like you're like top 1% of it. 2,000 pounds a week. Any other guesses? I got very good experience.
That's a good guess.
10,000? 10,000.
10,000 pounds?
10,001, you're on 10,001. 10,001. Alright. Very busy captain. Hey, come on, big deal.
Yeah.
Let's say you're like top 1% of busy coffee shops, right? 1%. How many pounds of coffee do you think you go with?
Top 1%?
Yeah.
Maybe 200 pounds?
Yeah, so much closer. It's about, I think, 500 maybe at that point. You know, 4 to 500. Yeah. So, if you do the math, 70 pound batches, 12 minutes, multiply that. You do lose moisture, so you don't get 70 out. Another question. How much moisture do you lose? In terms of percentage or weight?
15%.
Yeah, close to that. 15. Yeah. 15 is exactly it.
He said.
Oh, very good. Very good. And so when you buy a really expensive coffee, you gotta multiply that by 50%. You know, expensive coffees these days go for 500, 600, 8,000, 25,000 pounds. 50% of the cost is what you have that. Well, maybe not 25,000, but at least 15,000. So, I know, crazy enough. You lose a lot of that coffee. So even in the worst case scenario, losing 15%, technically you can get all your roasting done in 90 minutes for the whole week. Right? It's kind of crazy how much volume this machine can produce. And this is a really well-equipped machine. You can run it for 13 hours a day, no problem. Far exceeds what you need. And you want it to be that way, right? Here's what the coffee looks like. It's just smell a little bit too green. It's not going to smell like much at this point. That aroma really starts coming through once you get into like the 200 in terms of temperature, 300. Right now, this is more of your green bean.
So do you guys follow the rule like first crack, second crack? Like
Very good.
Okay.
Look at this.
All right,
We have
cool.
a scholar in our midst. Yes. What's up, Pete? Good.
14 minutes is not a very long time.
What are you looking at on that screen?
Yeah, great question. Can I combine those two questions?
Sure.
You mentioned first crack. You mentioned what am I looking at the screen right on that chart. There's a program called Copster. Copster produces this amazing software that helps track a lot of the data that the roaster produces. Things like the inlet temperature, the stack temperature, the return air temperature, the bean temperature, and all those things work together to some extent in how the coffee gets roasted and produced. So I'm getting data here to make sure I'm on track. And I'll make adjustments if I need to. Real science. It is. Right now I chose a very predictable coffee that I can turn my back to. But typically I'd be a little more involved making some minor adjustments. Right, to the gas temperature and to prolonging certain phases of the roast. Now your question is, if you look at things like first crack, yeah, absolutely. You make popcorn, I'm sure we all have. You know that loud popping sound if you're on popcorn? That's the equivalent of what happens to coffee. And that green coffee is gonna expand, let out a lot of moisture, change color, just like popcorn does. And that's called first crack. Right? It's an exothermic kind of reaction that the coffee undertakes as a result of the heat and the chemical impact because of all that thermal energy inside. Okay, so first crack is hit right around 400 degrees on this roaster. Every roaster is different. On this one you get it at 400. And that's when your coffee actually has your flavor that it's producing. You could stop your roast before that, but it's going to taste grassy and vegetative. It's going to be a very underdeveloped coffee at that point. If you you go to second crack, which we don't, but a company like Peeps and Starbucks, 100% of their coffee is a second crack. Imagine a cookie you're putting in the oven, 15 minutes. Timer goes up, you forget about it. It goes 6 more minutes. That's second crack. What's the lesson? Don't use expensive coffee if you're going to take your second crack, right? You're just like, part of it's just like a little carbonate at that point. So most companies like Voyager or like specialty coffee companies will always stop somewhere between first and second crack. And that's a lot harder. Your question, you need data to know when to stop. Because it's like a mile marker without having a visual mile marker. You're using sensory, nose, olfactory, you're seeing it, you're looking at the colors, you're looking at the expansion, you're looking at the time the coffee spent in each phase, yellow and brown and Maillard, and you're putting all that data together to know it's the right time to stop the coffee. Companies like Starbucks can't do that because you can't train a fleet of roasters to know that roasting. It's not possible. So they just take everything to second crack, over roast it, and get that perfect flavor out, right? Yeah, that's why dark coffee tastes like dark coffee. You just keep making it, and people find new things. And dark coffee's your thing, more power to it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for specialty coffee companies, we don't really subscribe to that level of dark. Notice the colors change significantly since we started. It's now this like browning and purring. And I'll take another example so you can smell it. A lot of pressure gets built up in hard to take back some time. Smells a little more like coffee now. Yeah. Not its way to coffee. Yeah. I once touched my nose to the tip of this and I got burned for like 3 months. There was like this giant thing on my nose. So be careful. Yeah.
Would you say that most specialty coffees have like loring?
No, most don't have a loring. They're just incredibly expensive. You're like thinking, should I buy a house or should I buy this machine? They're really expensive. So, I mean, we had to scrounge and get everything together to do this, but the unaffordability is that it's why most don't have it. If they could pick one, this would probably be the one most would think. Not only does it roast really well and there's automation built in, I mean, I'm literally roasting with my back to the machine, right? I would never do that with a manual machine like that one over there with our backup. But the other reason is that I lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons like
Yeah, this may also be 3 questions, but is this machine specific for certain types of actors, or would you say it effectively does 80% of the coffee process? Is it an essential part of all the coffee that you make, or is it specific to certain blends?
all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we roast everything on here.
Okay.
Yeah. These things are just amazing machines. So,
And so then, what portion of the coffee roasting process is this take up?
oh, this is 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all the roasting happens here. Now, getting the coffee out of the cherry itself, we call that processing. That happens all at the process. So we get the green beans shipped in these jute bags in ideally a grain pro, like this one. It's moisture resistant. So if you stay months at a dock in insects, vermin wouldn't get in, no over moisture. Get shipped over here, we get the green beans the way it looks. It comes out as roasted coffee. Now your job is to package it as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, get it out the door, fulfill all the orders, direct to the consumer, or wholesale.
So how would other companies without looking at craft do it?
Cropster still plugs into those other machines. You still get the data. In fact, as much data as you see here, it's less than what other machines actually let the software see. I mean, but we get everything we need for lowering. So other companies will use a different roaster with the same program. and they would approach roasting similarly. They would just need to have a lot more intense focus on, like you couldn't lead a seminar and on that machine at the same time. Yeah.
What is the difference when making like an espresso versus, is it the same bean or is it a different roast for an espresso?
Yes, that's a good question. We have a customer I love. Been coming in for 6 years. Bothering us for 6 years. Hey, you have a good coffee for espresso? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm loving this one. Oh, but it just doesn't say espresso roast on it. You're right, but you're still gonna love it. Like, well, it's gotta be different, you know, it's espresso. I'm like, is it? It's just coffee, right? How we use it is up to us, but it's just coffee. So your brew method is independent of the coffee. And vice versa.
It's not like the generally roasted longer or anything.
No, not at all. So here we get about 60 pounds down. And so that's slow custard as well. 10 pounds, yeah, it's a great diet. If you want to coincide the roaster, 10 pounds in 12 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel good to gather around. Usually what I end up doing, I let it cool for a few seconds. I just pop some beans in my mouth. It's good quality control. Kind of used to it now, but I mean, I kind of know what it should taste like, right? So, yeah.
So right now, what is it cooling down and all that sort of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a motor inside here, which sucks the ambient air. It's much needed because it pumps out, I know, at 420 or 430 or 440, right? Yeah. If you don't cool it down, it's going to keep cooking.
Right.
Yeah. So, there's a strong motor, sucks the air top down, kind of goes through the back and then pops out. That's what cools it down.
Okay.
So that's because once it leaves this, it's almost exactly the way the temperature and the process you want done as quickly as possible.
You want to cool it down as soon as possible. Yeah, if the cooler fan were not on, it would be horrible to the coffee. Yeah. And it would taste terrible as well. For a customer, yeah. If you weren't cooling it down.
If you didn't have, this cooling fan, how long would you say it would take for them to settle?
Oh my god.
An hour.
Hours. Oh, it would be horrible. You would probably be employing buckets and like breaking it in like 10-pound batches and just mixing it back and forth. We can actually, but that's what we were buying